Saturday, the 26th of October 2019, and I'm trying to do a mini video every day for this very powerful 13-day process of Red Serpent. So today we go actually into the portals on day 2, so we're on White Lunar Worldbridger, and it's building up to the new moon in Scorpio, which is coming on Monday the 28th. So today I've been immersed in updating my blog and putting the dates of the spiral on and having a look at the patterns, and also mapping out my own code for Red Serpent. And this is just the wow thing about it that you can do. So I'm going into year 9 of working with the wave spell in this way and mapping patterns and codes, and in particular my patterns. And so this is how it's amazingly complex. It's also amazingly practical if you are willing to do what it takes to start mapping your cycles. And so all you need to do is to create documents for yourself, and I use pages, and every time a wave spell comes up I just do a little bit more on it, so starting to map my codes. Once you get to 52 years of age, you've done all your code, and then you begin again refining it further, going deeper. So in terms of White Lunar Worldbridger, the White Worldbridger wave spell actually took place on the 16th of September, I've got it written down here, until the 28th of September. And so again, if you've got an electronic calendar, or you've got a journal, or you've got something on the wall in your kitchen, or anything like that, where you can start to just go back and have a look at what was going on for you then. Because I think sometimes we are so busy that things just start to blur, and it can be easy to lose track of things with the fast-paced lifestyle that most people are living. So one of the key things about that time was it went into the autumn equinox on the 23rd of September. So I know for me that was a key date. I know from what happened to me at that time, on that day was very significant, and you may have had a similar experience. So at this time of year in myth and legend, Persephone goes down into the underworld at the time of the autumn equinox, Libra time, the time of coming into balance. And in particular, when we're doing the great work, when we're doing inner work, that's working with the shadow, that's when it really begins at that time. So we take stock of what we've done all summer, from Aries time, from springtime, and then we really can start to work on an inner plane with refining our human being experience and letting go of old patterns and ancestral wounding. So for me, just looking at my notes there, at that time I began my group, the Persephone Path, which I've been doing for several years now. Didn't do it last year, but this year we've got a lovely group of women, and it is really, really magical. So very significant for me. So in terms of what was hidden, well, I had no way of knowing, because that's what the Lunar Day is all about. It's about the new learning. I had no way of knowing that I was going to have this group, or who was going to be in it, and how magical it is, and what that would bring to all of us in that circle as well. And in terms of my personal script, if you like, my personal scroll, I call it scroll for Red Serpent, I have mapped my key days. So because I'm a blue hand, a blue solar hand, and I am 54 now, so I can map all my years. And so I can specifically say what this 13-day process is all about for me, because it goes back to key years in my life. So I'm going to tell you more about that now. Okay, so just looking at the red serpent wave spell. So because there are 20 Mayan signs, we have one main Mayan sign, which is the day that we were born on. But we also, it changes every year, that energy. We go into a different energetic of it. And this is all about our tribe. So for example, with Blue Hand, that's part of the Red Earth Awakening tribe. So Red Earth, White Wind, Blue Hand, and Yellow Human. So I have got all of those years in my cycle throughout my life. So wherever any of those appear in a 13-day process, I can look them up, because I've recorded them all. And this again is what I do for my clients, is I record what was happening on those particular years, so that you're very aware of what you're then working with in terms of healing the wound. So Red Serpent is a mastery process. It's in the blue castle of transformation. And the key person in my family constellation is my mum, because she's a red serpent. So this is very specific for her. And I've also mapped her codes as well, and other family members. So for my mum, this is 1961 for her 13-year cycle, when she got married to my dad. So again, once you start going deeper into these things, you can see how it can be used practically to really bring awareness to your family tree and the themes that you're working with. So tomorrow, day 3, is Blue Electric Hand, and that was when I was 20 and I'd gone to live in Greece. So that was based on my 1985 birthday. And I actually went to Greece in April 1986. I actually went on my Mayan day. This is the wow of, once you start doing this work, you have no doubt that everything is already written, and that we were exactly where we were meant to be, even though we may have been experiencing terrible things, very hard things. It's all parts of the pattern of human evolution, and how we can become consciously aware in order to heal them. So the next code for me is then on day 8, which is Yellow Galactic Human, and that was in 1990 when I was aged 25. And then the next one after that is on day 13, which is Red Cosmic Earth, and that's 1995 when I was aged 30 and when I became a mother. So very significant at that time, and because my whole life changed beyond anything I could ever have imagined, you know, such a wonderful time, and also huge challenges around the birth, being a mum, and all the responsibility and all the choices of that. So in each of these 13-day process, depending on where they fall, because there's 20 Mayan signs, so it just depends whereabouts they begin and end, you can have a varying number of days of your pattern. But in this particular one, I have 3, and they span over 10 years, so from 1985 to 1995. So that's really key for me, information. So again, it can be helpful. Some people often think that they don't know what their stuff is. They may have had some extreme trauma, they may have post-traumatic stress, which of course often involves a defense mechanism where we block our memories as well. But when people are ready and when they want to do this sort of work, this can be very, very helpful, because then you can actually map and remember. And once you start to open this process up, again, it's about accessing the amygdala in the brain and also the hippocampus. So it's where we've logged traumatic experiences and we've given meaning to it at that particular time, often when we're a child or we're a young person. And it's not helpful for us to carry it throughout our life, because this is where we're all getting stuck, and where we're stuck in repeating the old stories and not getting free of them. So once we start to work with the amygdala, and I use emotional freedom technique because it works extremely well, it's mind-blowing and amazing. It literally does let you let go of old worlds, and so that you can be free of anything that was created at that time in terms of belief systems. A belief maybe was formed at that time that's no longer useful to you. And so then you can start to work very differently in relationship, first and foremost with yourself, because that's what it's all about, all these experiences that have created belief systems that have shaped, literally shaped our destiny in terms of holding on to them often and having beliefs about ourselves that we're not good enough, perhaps around self-esteem, self-confidence, blame, all of that sort of stuff. And so that you can really go back into it and release it and let it go, and let go of all the emotion as well, because emotion is embedded in the body as part of that process. And this is where we often get ill unless it's released. So if you want to know more about how to do this process, either just on an intellectual level to become aware, or on a energy releasing transformation process, a repatterning, a rewiring, please do get in touch with me. I've got more information on my website and blog, which is flowwithjo.com, and there's lots and lots of info. I've been doing this blog for a very long time now, and over the whole time that I've been working with the Zolkin. And so it's teaching me now, because I can Google things in and it takes me back to the time and place that I did that and had a particular experience. So today, as I said, is a human evolution portal, and there's 10 of them in this spiral. And Mars is the key planet for White Worldbridger. So at the moment we've got Mars in Libra, and that's my placement in my chart as well. So all about bringing in fairness and justice, and righting the wrongs, if you like, of where we've experienced out of balance, aggressive masculinity. So that's really key, because my understanding is until we do that, until we clear that, we keep experiencing it, because the whole point of this process of being here as a human being is to evolve as human beings and to learn how to be in balanced, free, loving and respectful relationship with other people. Until we can fully love and accept our life and come into peace with it, and that's not excusing any behaviours that have been abusive, but it's just coming into peace with it, because we can't change it, but we can change how we feel about it. That's really key. So I hope you're having an amazing spiral so far. I know it can be challenging, but unless we actually go through this process now, we cannot be free of it. This life is experiential, and it's what we came here for. See you soon. Bye for now.